Welcome back to the story of Aniruddha, the man who killed his wife Pallavi. Aniruddha has now become Sunil Ganguly. It's over a year since he ran away from Kolkata. He is now settled in Gurgaon, married to his colleague Shipra Gupta. Hi and a very warm welcome. You are listening to Crime Tales. I am Subbu. Case 2, Killer on the Run, Part 3. Year 2008, Gurgaon. Aniruddha and Shipra have just returned from their honeymoon. Shipra has resigned from the company where she was Aniruddha's colleague and has taken up a job at a different company. Their life is moving along smoothly. Aniruddha has very successfully managed to keep his true identity and past shielded from Shipra. But there is one thing that catches Shipra's notice. Aniruddha doesn't like to be photographed, or even his photos being uploaded on social media. Shipra is kind of amused and puzzled by his aversion to social media. I like my privacy, Shipra. I'm just not a social person. I'm happy with you, and only you. That would be his answer to Shipra's arguments all the time. Initially, Shipra is bothered by Aniruddha's unsocial attitude, but then she slowly gets used to it. Maybe always a loner, he's not used to interacting too much with people. She convinces herself. Apart from this strange stance about social media, Aniruddha is very caring, affectionate and loving towards Shipra. He is a thorough family man. Unlike Shipra, Aniruddha makes it a point to regularly call her parents, keep a check on their health. It's a happy married life. But will his past remain buried? It does bother Aniruddha off and on. Despite his changed identity, despite a new life he has carved for himself, despite everything around him being all rosy, Aniruddha, when alone, still logs on to the internet to check on the news of Pallavi case. It does relieve him when he sees nothing that suggests anything in the investigation going on at the present. He has no way to know if the case has been buried or cops are still looking for him. There are times when he is walking on the streets, when someone passes by, he would turn and look over his shoulder, wondering if someone is following him. Very soon, that fear also vanishes, as he leads on his life with Shipra. In Kolkata, Pallavi's father Devnath is knocking on every possible door to reopen his daughter's case. Amitabh Mukherjee, who is now the Assistant Commissioner of Police, feels helpless in the situation. He is aware that his promises to Devnath are nothing but empty assurances. Amitabh cannot really depute any dedicated team to the case once more, when it has gone so cold that there is no start point left for it anymore. But Devnath doesn't give up. He keeps writing to every possible authority, requesting them to restart the investigations. He isn't able to find peace. With no help coming from the police, Devnath at times would walk up to the house of Aniruddha's parents and keep a watchful eye there, expecting that Aniruddha would turn up one day and he would catch him. In his pursuit to find justice for his daughter, Devnath visits many astrologers, soothsayers, wanting to know when would the culprit be caught. Aniruddha's father, on the other side, has fallen ill and is bedridden. Aniruddha's mother, Geeta Das, a very religious woman, visits temples praying for her husband and son's well-being. She also is pining to see her son. Very much like Devnath, she also visits astrologers to know if her son is alive and well. Year 2009. Shipra and Aniruddha have their first child, a baby girl. Aniruddha is overjoyed. His life is on a roll. He has been promoted at work. He also has offers from other companies with a huge salary. He is living a dream, but as Sunil Ganguly. With their first child, Aniruddha and Shipra decide to make a move to Mumbai, where they can be closer to Shipra's parents. They sell off their house in Gurgaon and shift out to Mumbai. Playing with his daughter every day, seeing Shipra's parents also be the doting grandparents, Aniruddha is seized by a desire to see his own parents. He has come far from the past, reborn as Sunil Ganguly, but his heart aches to meet his parents. Sadness engulfs him whenever he thinks about them. How would they be? Are they still there where we used to live? What all did they face after I ran away? He is plagued by a deep sense of longing. While the longing to meet his parents gnaws at him, the fear of opening up old wounds, his past, the crime, also grips him at the same time. He is also angry with himself. For over 2 years, he had so successfully shut off his past. Why is it that it is now coming back to his mind? Why isn't he able to shut it off again? For months, Aniruddha battles with his feelings, but it refuses to go away. Finally, one day, lying to Shipra that it's a work trip to Kolkata, Aniruddha sets off. He has carefully changed his appearance, cutting his hair short, growing a French beard, sporting specs. Only a very careful and watchful look could give away his true identity. Aniruddha lands up in Kolkata and checks into a hotel. Sporting a cap to further hide his identity, Aniruddha reaches up to his parents' house. He doesn't go in, but stands watching the house from outside. He waits for his mother to come out. He knows that she would never miss going to the temple at her regular time. His wait is not for too long. He sees his mother walk out of the house. He is overjoyed. Holding back his emotions, Aniruddha quietly follows his mother. In the narrow lanes leading to the temple, Aniruddha comes up to his mother. "Ma," he calls out. His mother turns. "Don't stop, Ma. Just keep walking. Meet me around the corner. Please don't show any sign of recognition. Just turn the corner. I'll be waiting there." Aniruddha, having instructed his mother, walks ahead and turns the corner. Geeta, his mother, is shocked. She is trembling. Yet she quietly follows his order, walks ahead and turns the corner. At a spot away from anyone's eyes, Aniruddha waits quietly. Geeta walks up to him. Her eyes are brimming with tears. She hugs her son. Aniruddha too is overcome by emotions. "Where were you, Aniruddha? Where were you? What have you been doing all this time?" Geeta is full of questions. Seated on the banks of river Hooghly, Aniruddha patiently answers his mother's questions. "How is Baba?" he asks her. "He is very unwell. Please come home. Your Baba wants to see you. He has been asking for you all the time." Aniruddha cries. "I cannot come there, Ma. I don't want anyone to see me. Is the police? Are they still looking for me?" He is relieved to know that the case, though Pallavi's father is fighting for it to be reopened, has almost been closed. And then Aniruddha reveals to his mother that he is now Sunil Ganguly. He tells her of his travails in the past 2 years and the marriage to Shipra. He quietly takes out his mobile phone and shows his mother a picture of his daughter. Geeta is overjoyed seeing her grandchild. "I want to see her, Aniruddha. I want to see my grandchild and my daughter-in-law." "Firstly, Ma, for the world I am in now, I'm Sunil Ganguly, not Aniruddha anymore. I have no past that is connected to Aniruddha." He says it with a lot of sadness. "I just wanted to meet you. I wanted to know how you and Baba are. I cannot come here again. I cannot take you to my home, Ma. I cannot take that chance. The case might have gone cold, but I still cannot take that chance." Geeta argues with him. "There is no one anymore keeping a watch on our house. For all you know, the police might have even forgotten the case. It's only Pallavi's father who's still fighting. But it's not a fight that will see any outcome. Please, Aniruddha, please. There must be some way I can meet your child, meet your wife." Aniruddha doesn't have any answers. "I don't know, Ma. I have built a life, a new life. Everything is going well. I don't want to hurt Shipra. I don't want to open any window to my past that can affect my future. I will be in touch with you. But I can't come to our home. I cannot take you to my home." He pleads with his mother. Aniruddha and his mother part, promising to keep in touch over the phone. Aniruddha asks his mother to buy a new SIM card, a new phone, and use that to communicate with him. Back in Mumbai, Aniruddha now keeps in touch with his mother, procuring a new phone and SIM card for himself too. He takes every precaution to ensure no scope of anyone getting to know about his new identity or whereabouts. His mother's pining to meet his family, coupled with his own desire to make Shipra and his daughter see his mother, sets Aniruddha to wonder how to make it possible. At the same time, he is also scared of opening a new chapter that could have repercussions on his present and future that he has so carefully constructed. How safe would this be? How would he introduce his mother to Shipra and his daughter? What new story would he have to weave about his mother? He wonders. He has already constructed a past where his parents are dead. Finally, Aniruddha works out a plan. A new story. A new beginning. My aunt who raised me, she had a close friend. This close friend was also like a mother to me. Now suddenly out of the blue, this friend of my aunt contacted me. Aniruddha comes up with an identity for his mother. Shipra is overjoyed. All along in the 3 years of their marriage, she had wished that someone close to Aniruddha from his life she could connect to. She felt the emptiness of having no in-laws, no relations from Aniruddha's side. This friend of my aunt, Savita auntie, she stays in an ashram in Puri. Can we go visit her? She wants to meet you and her daughter. He asked Shipra. Of course we can, Sunil. Of course we should, Shipra replies. And now develops a new angle in Aniruddha's life. He has brought back his mother into his newly built up life, presenting her as a friend of the aunt who brought him up. At Puri, Geeta, masquerading as Savita, is overjoyed to meet Shipra and Aniruddha's daughter. There is an instant bonding that develops between Shipra and Geeta, between Geeta and her granddaughter. Shipra wants to hear all about Aniruddha's growing years from Geeta. Aniruddha always being quiet and cagey about his past, now Shipra gets to know all about him from Geeta. Geeta, as Savita, when she talks of Aniruddha's childhood, his growing up years, very carefully avoids the part of Aniruddha's life where there was a Pallavi and a Riddhi. The city of Kolkata gets transformed into the city of Indore in this version of Aniruddha's past. Shipra wants Geeta to come to Pune. Please, Savita auntie, it would make so much of a difference to Sunil and us too if you come and stay with us. I want you to meet my parents too. Geeta is tempted by Shipra's invitation. But Aniruddha's instructions about not extending the contact to more than the meetings at Puri weighs on her mind. I would love to, Shipra, but I don't feel like moving out of here. I find peace here. I'll be very happy, Shipra, if you come to visit me here more often with your daughter. I am so happy to have reconnected to Sunil. He lost touch with me. I don't want to lose touch with you now. Shipra promises Geeta that she would come more often and stay in touch with her. And the visits to Puri are now very frequent, almost once a month. Even when Aniruddha doesn't get leave from his office, Shipra makes it a point to visit Geeta. Geeta's desire to see her son, his family, fulfilled, she now wants him to meet his ailing father. Geeta arranges for Somnath, Aniruddha's father, to travel to Puri with her. And this time, Aniruddha travels alone without Shipra. The father and son meet after a gap of 4 years. Is this the destiny of a criminal, of a man who killed his wife, assumed a new identity, and now with a family that has no inkling of his true past, reconnecting with his real family? Is there never going to be any consequence he faces of his criminal act, criminal past? Karma. What goes around comes around. But has it skipped the life of Aniruddha Das, now masquerading as Sunil Ganguly? It's now year 2014, the 7th death anniversary of Pallavi. Devnath, her father, lights the lamp in front of her photo at his home. And the one man who has been visiting him all these years without fail on this date is Amita. A bond between a father who believes he failed his daughter and a cop who still reels under his failure to bring justice to this young woman. You'd think he would be alive somewhere, living happily, forgotten how he killed my daughter, living without any guilt. I don't know, Devnath. What I know is that I won't be able to sleep on an easy conscience until I find him. I live with a hope, just as you do, that some quirk of fate gives me the smallest window to find where he is. I hope he's not dead. I want to bring him to court, make him face the law for his crime. Replies Amitabh. Though frankly, I haven't found any method, any new strategy to trace him. The social media is quite active now. I tried once again through my team to track him, hoping there would be some presence he would have somewhere. Aadhaar has come in. There are a lot of digital footprints. But somehow we've not been able to find him. She would have been 33 now. Had there been someone else in her life, maybe she would have been having a child or two now. My grandchildren. Maybe her mother Jaiti would also have been here. His smile turns to tears. I won't die, Amitabh. I won't die. Until I see that man caught. Until I see him suffer for making my child suffer. Destiny can't be that cruel to anyone. Sarve karma vasha vayam. Every action of ours has an effect, a consequence. We have to enjoy or suffer the consequences without fail. No one can escape karma. In Mumbai, Aniruddha and Shipra have become parents to a second child, a son. Their daughter is now 5 years old. They have now moved into a much bigger flat in the city. Aniruddha informs his mother about having become a grandmother a second time. Shipra's travels to Puri to meet Geeta is now very regular. Taking a leaf out of her son's act of cleverness in hiding his identity, Geeta has brought her husband Somnath to the ashram, booking him a separate room, introducing him to Shipra as an old friend of hers. Somnath, frail and almost nearing his death, finds the fulfillment in seeing his 2 grandchildren, his one last wish. Contrary to Pallavi's father, Devnath, and Amitabh's hopes of finding Aniruddha, Aniruddha was leading an absolute happy and steady life. It hardly looked like karma was anytime going to reveal his identity or his address to the ones who wanted him caught, or to his nearest and dearest, his wife Shipra and his children. When all doors close, destiny leaves open some small window to bring about justice in a most natural flow. The year 2015, Kolkata. Aniruddha's father Somnath passes away after prolonged illness. Very uncannily, the message reaches a team member of Amitabh who was with him in the investigations of the Pallavi murder case way back in 2007. The team member alerts Amitabh. There could be a strong possibility that Aniruddha might turn up for his father's cremation. He is the only child. While Amitabh and his team sense a possibility of Aniruddha turning up in Kolkata, Aniruddha's mother pleads with him to do the final rites for his father. She wants him to come to Kolkata. Aniruddha is in a catch-22 situation. He wants to come to Kolkata, do the final rites for his father, but would that be a risk? It's been 5 years since we've been meeting. You have met your father in Puri. Your children have met him, Aniruddha. No one is after you anymore. Please come. Please do your duty as a son. Urges his mother over the phone. Mom, maybe the police have taken off their surveillance on you. But I don't know. I come there, I run the risk of exposing myself. Even if not the police, if there is someone else who might see me, might inform the police, it would ruin my life. Pleads Aniruddha. His mother's emotional appeal drives Aniruddha to the edge. Guilt of never having been a good son to his parents, the last chance to bid farewell to his father, are all hitting him from inside. Once again, using the guise of a work trip, Aniruddha manages to handle Shipra. He books himself the next flight to Kolkata. Was this going to be his last flight from the freedom he had constructed for himself so carefully over several years to being caught? In Kolkata, Amitabh has placed his men outside Geeta's house and the crematorium in plain clothes in a bid to nab Aniruddha. The message has reached Devnath also. Devnath turns up at Amitabh's office. He wants to see the killer of his daughter, face him, ask him many questions. Amitabh tells Devnath that it's just a hope. They are still not sure of this Aniruddha turning up. Aniruddha has left his home in Mumbai for the airport. He's on way to Kolkata. Somnath's body lies at his home with just a few neighbors and Geeta by the side of Somnath's remains as the prayers for the final journey are being chanted. Amitabh's men are also around in plain clothes, keeping an eye on everyone who's coming in. They are watchful. It's a tense wait and watch game. Somnath's body is finally being taken to the crematorium. The cops feel that maybe Aniruddha might directly reach the crematorium. One of them, observing Geeta very carefully, relays a message to Amitabh that her demeanor suggests strongly that Aniruddha will turn up at the crematorium. It's now a wait at the crematorium as Somnath's body reaches there. A cab arrives at the crematorium entrance, and all the cops in plainclothes get alert. It could be Aniruddha. Was this going to be the end of road for Aniruddha's journey as Sunil Ganguly, and the beginning of his journey to face the consequences of his crime? Aniruddha has left his home in Mumbai for the airport. He's on way to Kolkata.